Well, do you think you're going to get to keep your job as part-time head coach after that one?
At least for tonight. At least for tonight, I guess be able to get back to my role tomorrow as an assistant.
You guys have a bunch of dudes that you reasonably know something about and expect really good things from, but it seemed like tonight was a lot of guys that we don't know what are they going to look like, and they came out, Daimion and Adou, maybe the most shocking guy of the night. What did you think of some of those guys?
We were not shocked by it, but happy for them because those guys have worked extremely hard. You can tell that they were ready to play against somebody else. For us, what got us really excited is the way we defended, the way we ran, and the way we shared the ball. And you can have 28 assists and only 5 turns in the way we want to play at a really fast pace against a group of guys that are, pros. And we were really, really happy about that.
Just about Adou individually, what is it about his game that you like, and is this kind of what you all are expecting in year one?
Adou's been a guy that's he was hurt early on. He's going through some growing pains, and he's been in and out of practice some, and so recently he's been getting more consistent work in the gym and in practice, and he's growing. He's a tough kid. He's physical. He's smart. And so he just did what he was supposed to do. Was in the right positions, right plays, made plays, anticipating getting steals, getting blocks, using his athleticism and his quickness. So he did a lot of really good things.
Can you ever remember bringing in a guy quite like Adou with just sort of the mystery of not only what was he going to be when you got here, but what will he be like even by the time the season begins?
I don't know. I don't know if we have. We just know that he comes from a great family, and obviously he's been a part of Cal's family. His dad having played for Cal in Memphis and all those things. So he's a kid that's earned the right to be at Kentucky. Led his high school team to a championship game, and so he's been a part of winning. He's got a great basketball tradition and family, and he's a kid that's grown up wanting to be at Kentucky, and he's living out his dream, and we're challenging him and pushing him, and every day he's going up against other really good players, and so you are forced to get better, and he's doing that.
Daimion has always been a guy that's turning potential into production. Is this kind of what the vision you all saw of Daimion, recruiting him and then just developing over the last 2 years?
Absolutely. It's what we knew that, and he still has a lot of room to grow. But the thing is, because of the way we compete every day in practice, when you get in a game where he's going up against some guys that may be a little strong, a little physical, it didn't faze him. He made the plays that he's continued to make. One of the things that we really liked that, how many assists he had. He made some great plays and great decisions, was able to hold his ground, find guys, and obviously you saw his athleticism and the way he shoots the ball. I just think that he's got a extremely high ceiling, and we got to keep working. We got to keep improving and keep staying in the gym. He's got to continue to eat. He's got to continue to keep working with Brady, so that he can keep this up.
When you see a 6'10" guy who can dunk like those 2 dunks we saw, but also now
Did he do something?
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2. I think
Yeah.
Jacob was willing to risk his life to try to one up him.
Yeah.
When you see a guy that can do that at that size, but then also apparently now can put it on the deck and wrap around Oscar, put it on the deck and hit the pull-up, I think twice now.
Yeah.
The pull-up jumper, the way it looks, how, I guess, exciting is that about what he can grow into?
To Daimion's credit, he put a lot of work in, a lot of time in. He and his dad, and his trainer, and then getting back to school and working with us. You're happy for him when you start seeing some of those results. This is one game, but those are the things that he's capable of, and that's what we expect from him, to continue to be that way and to make plays that way.
A couple guys shot it. Well, you told me yesterday, Antonio would shoot it that way, but maybe people were waiting to see it. And then Kaysen, I don't know if anybody saw him coming out and hitting 3 or 4 threes in a game. I mean, not Casey,
Chris
Livingston.
Yeah.
How encouraging is that? Was that a surprise that he shot it that well,
No,
Chris?
no. I mean, Chris is really, really talented. He's a special player. You know, the things that we really liked is how he rebounded the ball as well. So when you got a guy with his physicality, his size, who can rebound, who can run, who can handle the ball, and shoots the ball the way he has today, he took the right shots. He took open shots. He didn't force shots. When he had opportunities to drive, he drove the ball. And that's what we're trying to get him to continue to do. Find those spots where he's got opportunity to use his physicality to get to the free throw line or to cause defenses to collapse, find guys, and when the ball gets passed around to him and he's open, then to take those opportunities, and he did that tonight.
Do you see more, I don't know if the word confidence from Lance out there? He just seems more certain about what he's doing, like attacking.
No, Lance is also someone, I mean, from top to bottom, those guys have spent a lot of time in the gym improving, and was happy for him because the things that he did is what we see him doing every day in practice against our guys. And, you know, we feel like we've got a pretty decent team and guys that compete and play hard and got size and athleticism. So if you can do it against our guys, it should translate to games. And you know, again, it's one game, but we got to keep carrying that over, and we got to keep working.
Jacob is somebody that he feels like he's playing with a newfound freedom, kind of solidifying that 4 spot. Just kind of, what are your all's expectations for him, and just is this kind of a sign of what's to come with him in particular?
Jacob is so unique because he's a guy that can actually be probably the best defender in the country, 1 through 5. Everybody will see the highlights, but his IQ, his feel, his energy, he can do so many things, and his game is just evolving and growing. And you know, we're going to keep challenging him.
What is his ceiling? Does he even have one right now?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if you know. I think his ceiling is whatever he decides that he wants it to be.
Did you guys have any reservations about the way Daimion and Jacob kept attacking the rim? I mean, I know you want them to do that, but they went with some high-flying acrobatic type stuff there. I mean, Jacob.
That's what they do.
Okay.
So
you can't really reel that in.
No, that's instinctual for them, and it's a mentality that we want them to have, to be aggressive that way. At the same time, you saw both of them sharing the ball, passing the ball, making the right plays, but still being aggressive.
So you're not holding your breath. I mean, Jacob's first attempt was like he came down in a heap. There was no nerves.
Nope. We see it every day in practice. Those guys go up against each other, and you know, it's pretty special.
What was the best dunk of the 3?
Good question. I don't know. I couldn't rank them.
Kasem was a guy that felt like maybe had some first night jitters for about 5 minutes, and then he obviously got going just fine. But
Yeah.
did you have any conversations with him?
No,
maybe
but
first time out or whatever to get him settled in?
It's understandable for all of you guys the first time that they get a chance to play together against other people, and we just told them to rely on their training. You know, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training, and that's all they did. They got settled in and go out and play. It just happens to be that it's being on TV and you got fans watching it, but just do what we do every day.
Does it say something that we haven't said a word about Oscar Tshiebwe yet, who led the team in scoring and the reigning National Player of the Year, and we're now 10 minutes into this interview?
I mean, you know, everybody knows what Oscar does, and you know, we're going to watch some clips. I'm going to have some clips for him. He got some rebounds taken out of his hands, which doesn't really happen. So we got to get on Oscar.
Wheeler.
He's got to become a better rebounder.
Did Wheeler just knock knees with somebody?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he came back in. But
Yeah, he bumped knees, and I think he might have, you know, they're checking him out, but he came back in the second half and finished the game pretty fine, which is great to see. He was ridiculous too on the ball defensively.
Was that, last one for me, was that as encouraging as anything? I mean, we're talking about dunks and threes and stuff like that, but the way this team defended on night one in a competitive environment kind of across the board? Was that maybe the most encouraging thing?
It was.
about
It was.
tonight?
It was. It's what our person. We want our personality to be. It's what how we want to play. We want to play off of our defense and be able to get out and impose our will on teams when we can, which we hope to be able to do frequently.
I know Cal said last night that he hoped that fans would watch this and on night one and say, I think this team has a chance. Is that kind of the obviously a 50-point win? Is that kind of what you think that you showed?
We had a chance tonight. Hopefully, we have a chance tomorrow.
I think you did.
Coach, a couple quick ones from the chat.
Yes.
Cal's teams don't typically play the lanes for a lot of steals. Could this team be different with length and athleticism?
I mean, there's some things that we've been trying this summer, and understanding that we need to utilize our strengths, and that's part of our strengths. Being able to have guys at all different positions that can play lanes and use their defensive IQ to anticipate where passes are going to be going and run through and play off of our defense that way.
One more. 28 assists, 5 turnovers, 10 blocks, 13 steals. What do those numbers represent about the desired energy level of this team?
We were challenging our guys to not look at the score and just keep playing and doing what we do. And there was a segment there where I think they scored 6 or 7 possessions, and we got obviously we got a little loose with it and challenged them again, and then we were able to get back to where we wanted to be at.